Hello friends, let us now learn some important points about the hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. In hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, there is hypertrophy which is seen in interventricular septum. As a result, there is defective filling of blood seen in left ventricle, which is diastolic dysfunction. So this heart is seen as banana shaped heart. On microscopic examination, you will see presence of helter-skelter appearance due to the hypertrophied cardiac muscle fibers. If you were asked what is the most common cause of death in young athletes, then that is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. So now we will see some etiology. I didn't tell you here. So the etiological features of dilated cardiomyopathy include: it is an autosomal dominant condition which occurs due to the defect in myosin gene. Then this defect in myosin gene on chromosome 14 results in this cardiomyopathy, that is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. In this hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, as I have said, there is asymmetric septal hypertrophy is seen, and this asymmetric septum will cause obstruction to the, there is decreased filling. Definitely this hypertrophy in interventricular septum will also cause left ventricular outflow obstruction, and because of the left ventricular outflow obstruction, this will work as subvalvular aortic stenosis. So this is a type of subvalvular aortic stenosis because it is obstructing the heart, left ventricular outflow obstruction. And if you see the important points, it is seen in the age group of 20 years of age. It is seen in males. This is associated with dyspnea, where there is diastolic malfunction is seen. Because of diastolic malfunction or because of pooling of blood in the lungs, there is dyspnea, and here the patient also suffers from chest pain because of ischemia, because there is lots of hypertrophy of the muscle fibers is seen. And because of the hypertrophied muscle fibers, these hypertrophied muscle fibers, what does they do? They will require lots of oxygen, but in our body could not provide the necessary oxygen to the muscle fibers. As a result, that will result in ischemia leading to chest pain. The patient also suffers from effort intolerance, is not able to do proper work, and here the patient also sometimes may undergo sudden collapse, or sometimes there might be sudden death is also seen, which is seen on exercise or running. So that is the reason why this is one of the most common cause of death in sudden death in athletes. What happens is, whenever there is whenever he tries to run or exercise, there is presence of ischemic ventricular fibrillation will occur. This ischemic ventricular fibrillation will suddenly decrease the pulse rate and blood pressure, and as a result this will cause death of the patient if not addressed. So on examination you will see that here there is pulsus bisferens is seen. Here we see something called as pulsus bisferens, or we call it as jerky pulse is seen. So what does this pulsus bisferens or jerky pulse mean? So if you see, this is the normal pulse which I would like to see. So this is S1, S2, S3. Here this is systole and this is diastole. Now the pulse here will somewhat look like this. It starts from here, peaks in the systole, okay, and in the diastole it starts somewhat smaller wave, which is dicrotic notch will start, okay, and it will end in again at the end of diastole. Now this is the normal pulse pressure, pulse wave. But in hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, in this the left ventricle will contract with maximum power. So as a result, at once the pressure of the pulse increases at once, and then it decreases suddenly, and then it will cause one more increase, okay, and then it becomes down and then increases and then comes down. So this is called as pulsus bisferens. So this pulsus bisferens means it is fast raising pulse initially. This is fast raising pulse, and because of left ventricular outflow tract obstruction, this will result in sudden dip in pressure. There is fast rise and after followed by sudden dip. This sudden dip is present due to left ventricular outflow tract obstruction. Then if you see the apex beat in these individuals, this is displaced. This apex beat is displaced, and you will also see presence of double or triple apical impulse is seen in hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. Okay, this displaced apex beat is seen either in fifth or sixth intercostal space. Okay, then if you see the that means heart sounds, S2, S1 will be normal, S2 will be either narrow split or it can be single split, or it can be single or it can be reverse split S2. Why is it normal, or it is almost similar to aortic stenosis? This is because, see, whenever there is obstruction, one reason for narrow split, see, normally this is A2, this is P2. Okay, in narrow split, first and foremost there is obstruction to the outflow, and as a result the it takes longer time for the blood to pass from left ventricle to the aorta, right? As a result the A2 is delayed, so this will become narrow split. Initially A2 is delayed, leading to narrow split, and later this A2 will this will be delayed further in such a way that this will overlap with the P2, and in such cases it causes single split. Later this A2 is further and further delayed in such a way, because of severe aortic stenosis, it takes longer time for emptying the left ventricle. So as a result the A2 will be further delayed, resulting in reverse split S2. So this is the reason why there is first narrow split S2. As the severity increases, it progresses to single split and reverse split S2. It is seen in both hypertrophic cardiomyopathy and also aortic stenosis. Okay, so this S2, which is either narrow or single or reverse split, it is best heard in inspiration. It is best heard in inspiration, and then if you see where is it heard best, it is best heard in Erb's point. What is this Erb's point? Erb's point is third intercostal space, that too in the left parasternal line. Third intercostal space, left parasternal line, we have this Erb's point, it is heard there. Even S4 is also heard. Why is this S4 heard? This is due to, it is heard due to left ventricular outflow tract obstruction. This S4 is heard because left ventricular outflow tract obstruction causes left ventricle hypertrophy is already there. It also causes left atrial hypertrophy also, and as a result it causes S4. Okay, then because of this left ventricular outflow tract obstruction, it results in a murmur, which is ejection systolic murmur. We will have to learn some important points about this ejection systolic murmur. The ejection systolic murmur, which occurs in hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, is a type of crescendo decrescendo murmur, and in this crescendo or decrescendo murmur, okay, this murmur will actually there is one line which you should always remember, that is all murmurs in our body, these all murmurs will decrease in intensity with Valsalva and standing. All murmurs will decrease in intensity with Valsalva, standing, or by inhalation of amyl nitrate okay, either by amyl nitrate inhalation or Valsalva or standing, all murmurs will decrease in intensity except hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, where this murmur will be louder with Valsalva, standing or amyl nitrate, and mitral valve prolapse, which will be longer with in intensity with Valsalva, standing and amyl nitrate. Remembering this one sentence will help you to solve n number of MCQs. Okay, then if you see the investigations, in the investigations, the first investigation is we can do ECG, and ECG you will see that S wave in V1, if you add it with R wave in V5, this should be more than 35 millimeters. If it is more than 35 millimeters, it indicates that there is hypertrophy is seen in the left ventricle. Okay, then if you can do echocardiography. Echocardiography will show that there is left ventricular free wall hypertrophy is seen to be more than 30 mm. If left ventricular free wall hypertrophy is more than 30 mm, then this is the investigation of choice for echocardiography. This is best, and echocardiography is investigation of choice for hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. And in echocardiography you will also see that there is decreased left ventricular end diastolic volume. You will see that decreased stroke volume is there. So all these are seen, okay, in echocardiography. Then if you see the treatment, the drug of choice in hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy is propranolol, and this will decrease the heart rate. So this is about the main drug of choice. The other interventions, if you see, you can also do other things for this hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. We can give alcohol based septal ablation can be done. We can do alcohol based septal ablation, or we can do implantable cardioverter defibrillation can be done. This is implantable, we can do ICD implantation, that is implantable cardioverter defibrillator. I will write this again. Cardioverter defibrillator can be given, and this implantable cardioverter defibrillator is the treatment of choice. Okay, this is actually indicated. If you see the indications, this is indicated if there is any family history of sudden cardiac death in the patients, then we should give immediately take him for implantable cardioverter defibrillator. And if left ventricle free wall thickness is more than 30 mm, or if there is or if there is history of syncopal attacks are present, in all these cases we should consider putting implantable cardioverter defibrillator. This is about hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. Thank you for watching.